Because the coronavirus epidemic continues to spread from mainland China to other parts of the world, including Hong Kong. WION's correspondent Grace Lee has sent us this report from Hong Kong. Listen in.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of reaction from in and around Asia at this time because of the fact that a Wuhan man in the Philippines is now reported to be the first case of a death outside of China due to the coronavirus. Now, countries around this area are really rapidly trying to shut down their borders and their access to mainland China, to and from that area. And Hong Kong has announced a couple of measures to restrict travel to China, but it hasn't closed down its borders quite yet. Meanwhile, New Zealand, the Philippines, Singapore, all these nations are now restricting travel pretty firmly to China, and the U.S. is one of those countries as well. Now, China has had reaction to this, saying that this shows that the U.S. and other countries are not acting in confidence with China and its ability to contain the situation. And of course, the WHO has been pretty clear about the fact that, China has done a good job so far in trying to contain the virus. Only one death so far outside of China is pretty remarkable, according to officials there. But still, there is a lot of paranoia mounting over concerns on the virus, and healthcare workers here in Hong Kong are planning to go on strike on Monday. Doctors, nurses, they're angry about the fact that Hong Kong still won't shut down its border completely. Now, the WHO has recommended that countries do not shut down their borders to China. They think that this won't really help in the situation. The best thing that you can really do is be vigilant and make sure that if you've been to China recently, you report that, self-quarantine yourself if you've been there recently and you feel ill. All these measures, but the economic impact that we're expecting to see because of these travel restrictions will be quite broad, and there's a lot of worry of what the world economy might look like in a couple of months because of the coronavirus.
Meanwhile, stocks in mainland China have plunged by almost about 9% on Monday as they return to trade for the first time since January 23rd amidst a fast-spreading coronavirus epidemic. The benchmark Shanghai Composite dropped by about 8.6 percentage points in the opening minutes, while the Shenzhen component plunged by about 9.03%. The Chinese commodity markets also saw a rout when they opened on Monday earlier today. The benchmark iron ore contract fell by its daily limit of 8%, while copper, crude and palm oil also sank by the maximum allowed. Now, the closure of the Chinese markets has affected stocks across the world. In Tokyo, stocks fell sharply when trading began and losses were extended to New York. In Singapore, the Straits Times has plummeted by about 8%. And Australian stocks dropped by about 1.4%, while South Korea's Kospi index has fallen by about 1.5%. Meanwhile, China's central bank has sprung into action to try and avoid a slide in the currency. It will be pumping in $173 billion into the economy as the market has shut down and travel advisories are impacting China's growth. The bank has also said that it is pumping in the massive amounts to try and maintain liquidity in the banking system. The central bank has added that it will set up monetary support for enterprises that are helping in the fight against the coronavirus.